Hey folks, welcome to Guitar Daily. It's Nick Granville coming to you from Wellington, New Zealand. So, I was thinking about this earlier. A lot of people, when they're looking to buy a new guitar, they don't kind of know where to start or kind of what's really important. And I thought I'd share some thoughts on this today, right? I think that probably the most important thing that nobody seems to discuss, right? The things that seem to get discussed is what type of pickups has it got? What's the body made of? What's the neck made of? You know, what tuners does it have? What's the nut length? All these things. And to me, all those things matter, of course, you know, they're really important. But the most important thing that nobody seems to discuss, I don't know why, is how a guitar makes you play. Right? One of the things I like about this particular guitar so much, and the reason I've persevered with it so much, is it makes me play a certain way. Right? Now that's very different from this guitar, right? This guitar makes me play a certain way, and it's one of the reasons I really like this guitar so much as well. But this guitar in particular makes me play a certain way. Same thing with a Telecaster. When I play a Tele, it makes me play a certain way. And in terms of music, like music being your voice, right? If this is my voice that I'm trying to speak through, you know, express something when I play music, that I want to have something that makes me play a certain way. And the thing that this makes me play is it makes this, to me, almost feels like a blues guitar. Now, I don't know why. I don't know why, it just makes me want to play that sort of way. I don't necessarily want to play too jazzy on this guitar. Whereas I feel differently about other instruments I have, like my Sko guitar. That makes me kind of want to play a little more jazzy, I guess. You know, lack of a better way of putting it, it kind of does. It makes me want to play more jazz type stuff. When I play an archtop guitar, that makes me want to play a certain way. But with a guitar like this, it makes me want to play bluesy. It doesn't necessarily make me want to play funky. It sort of brings out, you know, I mean, I can do that, of course. If I go to this sort of sound here. Can do that, and it does that really well. But it makes me want to play bluesy. I don't know why. Even if I get dial up a sound like this. Very much a rock guitar kind of tone, right? But it's still bringing out the bluesier side of my playing. It's bringing out the bluesier side of my playing, and I think that's something that's really important to me, at least in terms of how I see my voice in this music, as there's a blues element to everything I do. I'm not a blues player as such. I don't consider myself a blues player. I consider myself a session musician, a working artist, and when I do my own music, it's sort of a mixture of jazz and funk and blues and all these different things. So really kind of a fusion-y type thing, if you will, if you wanted to give it a name. But the thing is, like, the blues is kind of the heart of it all. It's the one thing that, with all the music that I do, that kind of ties it all together. And it's interesting, you know, I've thought about this a lot. Like, what is my style? What is my thing that I'm kind of doing? And I think that's the one thing, you know. Some people say to me, oh, you do all these different types of music well, and how do you go from doing a jazz gig to doing a blues gig to doing a funk gig? To me, like, to doing a rock gig. The thing that ties them all together for me is the blues, right? I just put a different hat on when I play it. But I think that's, a lot of that comes down to the neck of a guitar. And there's something about this guitar with its raw finish, its nicely rounded edges, the type of frets it has on it, the feel of it. Everything about it kind of makes me want to play bluesy because of the way this feels. Now, when I play this guitar, if you look at the neck, it has this lacquered finish, whatever type it is, polyurethane, whatever they use. But it's kind of sleek and a bit more slippery, I guess you would say, right? It's a bit smoother. This is smooth too, but this is smooth as in raw wood. This is smooth as in like with a finish. And I find when I play this, it makes me want to play faster. It just does. And I can play faster on this. This is probably the easiest playing guitar I own. Which for certain music, that's great. You know what I mean? And I still see this guitar as a huge part of my voice, but there's something about this too. And the thing with that is, if you get a guitar that makes you play a certain way, right? Like maybe it brings out the bluesiest side of your playing, which is what you want, or maybe you're kind of going towards more of a funk thing, like Ella Ray Feingold. You know, she's definitely coming from a funk position, so she wants to have a guitar that brings out the funkier side of her playing because that's her voice, right? And so when you do that, you have that sort of thing that's your voice, but maybe the pickups aren't working. It's easy to swap pickups or electronics. You know, swap all the electronics in here. It's easy to change, you know, tuners. These are different tuners, all that kind of stuff. But the core thing that you should be looking for when buying a guitar, in my opinion, is what way does it make you play? Yeah, interesting. So that's partly too why I have so many instruments. You know, I have people come around for guitar lessons, and they see all these guitars and they go, "Why do you need so many guitars?" Right? Because each guitar makes me feel differently about the music, right? So if I'm doing a session for someone, if I grab the Les Paul, it's going to make me play a certain type of way. If I grab one of my AR guitars, like the AR 420, I feel differently about that than the Les Paul, even though it's kind of in the same vein, right? To me, that's almost like a Les Paul killer, if you ask me. But it's like I play a certain way when I play the AR 420 that I don't do when I play the Les Paul, or even the 520. When I play the 520, it makes me play a certain way. When I play this guitar, I play a certain way because of the feel of the instrument. And I think that's something to consider when if you're looking to buy a guitar. Is like, what is the guitar bringing out of you? That would be the question I would be asking, right? Everything else can be changed if you want, but you're looking for that key thing. Hope this has been useful. If it has, please subscribe. Please like. All that stuff helps with my channel. The Buy Me a Coffee's link below if you want to contribute. That's all appreciated, and thank you very much to everybody who has. I'll play you out with some more music. This is Oh When the Saints, a favourite that I like playing. Kind of one of the earliest jazz tunes, I guess. But to me, it's kind of bluesy and it's got a New Orleans vibe.